Yo, what's happening, people? And welcome back to the Tiki Taka podcast, where you're going to hear hot takes, unbiased opinions, and hopefully have a couple laughs along the way.
Yes.
Now that intro has a bit of extra special meaning today because it's unbiased opinions on certain things that are going on when neither of us are Liverpool fans. And obviously that's the major talking point, but we're going to get there. So I saw on MNF Day, Carragher saved it for the last segment just before the Man United game.
It's the big stuff.
To keep audience retention. And unfortunately, guys, we're going to do the same. So if you want to see the Mo Salah stuff,
At least you're kind enough to let them know.
Or you're going to have to. But before we get to the Mo Salah stuff, there's going to be things that if you're not an Arsenal fan, you wanna listen to. But look, apologies for last week. We both had busy weeks. We couldn't find the time to record.
Yeah, it's been a while actually.
But we will have a double upload either next week or the week after to make up for it. We've got a podcast idea in the works. We did actually try to get it done last week.
But the logistics.
But it was too much. Blame Matt. If you ever hear us, Matt, when he sends his list in, blame Matt. Matt had his birthday. We tried to get it in. Time was tight. I think we made the right call.
Yeah, we did
the right call
at the end of the day.
But yeah, we've got something in the works. If you liked our Mikel Arteta ranking all of his transfers, we've got something similar to that coming up. So stay tuned for that. But we have got a lot to talk about today still, and we are going to start with Arsenal, who did lose their first game in the last 19.
Yeah.
After an 18-game unbeaten run, gave rival fans the opportunity to talk some shit. Because obviously 18 games in a row, they've not had anything to say. Arsenal went to Villa Park. Now, we could talk on the title race as a whole after, but let's just talk about the game itself first. How did you? Obviously, the result was a killer, but how did you feel Arsenal played in the game?
I actually, it's almost two separate things because I'm still not like, and to be fair, I need to preface this by saying like I watched the game and then I've almost seen nothing back from the game. So this is just how I was feeling at the time. I haven't seen the highlights, rewatched anything or whatever it might be. But I was more or less content with how we played in the game, more or less. I didn't think the first half was amazing, but at the same time, I thought Villa was really going to get onto us in the first half, and crowd involved and shots on target, all that kind of stuff. And they kind of did have that. They had chances in the first half. But I thought that we were as equal a threat, or it felt as if we were a combination away from opening them up, you know? And I wanted that sort of threat to be provided. I didn't want this to be, I don't know, it was a cagey game, but I didn't want this to be one of those games where I felt as if we were lacking presence or we were lacking quality, or Villa fought as if we weren't on it today, or they were going to sort of, it was a bit physical, push us around, that kind of stuff. And I thought for an away performance in the first half, we held our own, and well, up until the goal. And then in the second half, again, I was kind of impressed. I thought, well, this is going to be long. 1-0 down at Villa Park, all momentum. They're going to come out in the second half and look to stamp on us and get the second one. And Arteta made changes, and there was, for the first 20 minutes, fights, and we got a goal back through Trossard. And I was like, okay, this team is looking like, you know, at least mentally, they've got some grit and determination about them, and they're not just going to let games sort of drift away. So I was also equally impressed with that. But then there's probably about 20 minutes of this game, which is like the final 20 minutes plus, I say 25 minutes plus like the final 5 minutes of the first half that were quote, was pretty much awful. Like that's where we lost the game in both of those minutes. So it overshadows the performance, especially when you consider the result is a loss. I was more or less happy with majority of the performance. I didn't think that we were as bad as I thought that we could have been in some of these big games. Yeah. You know, I thought actually there was something about this team that was there. And in that 20-minute spell that we had, then Trossard scored, we had to kill the game in that period. And we didn't. And then we paid the price. And we lost the game, really, for me, on the margins, on like player tiredness, on just some stuff that I guess happens maybe after 18 games of not losing.
Yeah, look, I agree with that assessment on the whole. I think obviously you said off air how crucial the first goal in that game was going to
Yeah.
be. And I'm sure that like we know that, so Arteta knows that. Arteta's preached that to the players, and then for Eze to fall asleep at the back post and Matty Cash, and you can see the frustration in Eze's face.
Yeah.
But it's poor in a big
I
game.
think it's so criminal.
Yeah,
man.
it's poor.
And
It's poor
I think-
in a big game, massive game to go 1-0 down like that.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a good finish from Matty Cash, don't get me wrong. So it is a moment of quality, I guess you can say.
yeah, yeah,
But I just thought that, like, let it be that John McGinn puts one,
Yeah.
like from 25 yards, 30 yards, or whatever it might be. I wanted it to be that kind of quality where we were rigid and it was a bit soft, that goal.
yeah.
It's
Where a
soft-
mistake hasn't
yeah,
really been made.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's soft, that one.
But yeah, so we give up that goal, and then like you say, the start of the second half, we showed some real intent and some real sort of like fight back. Got the goal, and then that was our period to then. I think Saka has one that comes out to him, and he gets good contact on it.
Yeah.
It's just a bit unfortunate that there's so many bodies in front.
Kept it low.
Yeah, it was going in. It was going curbing round. And I think on the balance of the whole game, I think a draw was probably a fair result.
They had some chances.
But like you say, those last 20 minutes, Villa really, Marlon had a chance. And we
Timber
were
had that
sloppily
thing.
giving the ball away, and they had a couple half chances and whatever. But on the whole, it's a bit like guys were saying that we got lucky when we won at St. James's Park.
Yeah.
Because obviously we've won in the last minute.
Yeah.
We've come back and whatever, and then there was the handball with Gabriel. Like, but you've said before, you need to be an elite team to win there. I don't think you win at St. James's Park without some luck. Yeah, I just think that's how the game goes, and I think Villa Park's similar. Like, you're not going to go to Villa Park and move to them and play them off the pitch.
Yeah.
The only team that actually has done that this season is Palace, who went there and won 3-0 early on in the season, like third game of the season or whatever.
That was when they were in their
and we'll
rock.
speak on Palace because they're doing the things, but I don't think you're going to go to Villa and play that well. So I'm not expecting the Arsenal performance to look how it looks
against many of these other teams.
Against other teams.
It's a tough place
right?
To
go. Like you say, the performance that we did put in, considering the circumstances, considering Villa are the form team in the league, they're 3 points behind us now. They're in third place. Last year, I think they lost one game at Villa Park, and that was to us.
Yeah.
In the whole season.
League, yeah, exactly.
PSG lost there, Bayern lost. So, look, Villa Park, we know is a very tough place to go. However, I was disappointed because I thought that this Arsenal team was, and it's not that they're not capable, but as of now,
haven't shown.
We just have to go and wait another season for them to maybe go and win at Villa Park or win at St. James's and Villa Park in the same season. Do go and really take that extra step. And I think that it would have been a real kind of like mental blow to have the gap at 8 points by 2:30.
Yeah.
And obviously the gap is 2 points. So I was a bit disappointed in that. But more so, I think the makeshift defense, obviously you take Gabriel and Saliba out of the team. You take, you include Mosquera as well. You take three of your best centre-backs, whatever, out of any team, and it causes problems. And that's not to make excuses, because we talk about squad depth, we talk about our second team making top four and whatever. It's just obviously that game's going to look a bit different if Gabriel and Saliba are there.
Yeah.
Like everyone can admit that.
The goals that we conceded, that's why I talk about the margins, like, you know, and I thought Nkappi played very well in the game. I thought Nkappi was very well in the game, but that, like, it's coming to the whatever it is 90-something minute. Nkappi's played 3 games in a row. You know, there's there's poor touch. He doesn't clear it on his right foot or wherever it is. Like, that's also him. Same thing like Eze. I was just thinking about this on my drive here. I was like, those are 2 sort of new guys to the team, learning that there isn't room for these mistakes, or like not even mistakes.
Eze should kind of know that.
It's not to bail any of them out, and it's harsh, but like, it's just on some like, well, this really is the level. Like, even in the 96th minute against Aston Villa in a back and forth game where you've played 3 games in a week or whatever it is, like, if you don't do the simple things right,
you'll get punished.
We'll get punished. We can lose the game. We can not go 8 points clear. We got 2 points. Like.
And the thing is, even after Hincapie's era, there are other errors that happen.
That happen
before
exactly.
the goal.
Exactly,
The Eze
yeah.
one that is his error. Yeah, and he obviously has to own that. But like you say, I thought Hincapi played really well. Obviously that was tired legs. I think Timber, considering that he's not a centre back, like he can play there, but he's not a centre back. I think Timber did well. Shout out Ben White, massive shout out to Ben White, and props to Ben White this week, because obviously we didn't have a pod post Brentford, but a lot of guys asking, is Ben White at the level? How long is it going to take Ben White to get back to the level? We were asking, when is Ben White getting his minutes? Ben White's come in for Brentford at home and Villa away, and he's not looked out of place at all. And that Villa Park was a big test for Ben White to come back into that sort of atmosphere, that sort of play style. So the defense as a whole, I thought Calla was good. John McGinn tried to do.
Raya made great saves.
I think if we got the point,
Raya made great saves.
Raya's man of the match, and I think it's one of those classic Petr Cech.
Yeah.
Because Raya kept us in that game with the Ollie Watkins save.
Exactly.
But Calla, I think McGinn tried to hustle and bustle and throw his weight around, and he didn't realise that Calla's just a 6'4" specimen. He's a stallion, that can hold the contact, have the tech. So the back four, I know we conceded 2 goals, whatever. I have no real issues with them. Right, like you say, tired legs from maybe Zubamendi and Declan Rice. They can't quite get to that ball block when he is shot. Calm. Odegaard, well played, good performance. Potentially could be our best attacker. But on that day,
period,
what we need to talk about is the attack. Because
I agree.
Throughout the whole season, the defense has been doing what it needs to do. Set piece goals, whatever, Gabriel. Keeping clean sheets that allow us to win games 1-0. Fulham, Palace, West Ham.
Even this game, it doesn't necessarily need to be a clean sheet. Yes, Hincapi, whoever made their mistakes at the end, Timber, whatever. But they kept it to 1 goal for 85 minutes. So anybody could have won it.
At Villa Park.
Yeah. Anybody could have won it. So on top of the clean sheet points, it was the same thing at Chelsea. Chelsea had 10 men, whatever. But it was well, there isn't going to be another one. So if you guys want to go and get 2 or 3 or whatever it is.
If you want to help us out a bit here. 100%. They keep it to 1 till right at the last minute there. Now, when we get to the attack, surprisingly, I'm actually going to leave Odegaard out of this. Because I did actually think he played very well in the game.
Yeah, agreed.
Pissed me off that clip of him on the winning goal.
No,
and he's the will from in between us. Look, ideally, I just want my player to show a bit more heart and desire and try and get in front of that. But I'm putting that to bed with Odegaard. I'm just not going to ask.
That's growth.
Right?
That's growth.
Yeah. And I think the pass he played to Saka for the goal that we actually scored is a perfect pass. I think that pass has to be perfect for Saka to be in that position. For the offside goal, so fine. Odegaard, he can sit this one out. Now, Bukayo Saka, I think, played well in the game after Odegaard was our best attacker. But I'm looking at Saka. I'm looking at Eze. I'm looking at Gyökeres. We need to have the conversation.
Yeah.
Madueke. Martinelli.
Yeah.
Everyone outside of Trossard and Marino, pretty much.
Yeah.
And Marino didn't play well, but Marino's done it now.
We can't.
Right. And you might say, well, Saka has done well. He got the assist at Stamford Bridge, but
it's different expectations. Yeah, it's different expectations.
So those guys, I need more from all of them. And then specifically Saka and Eze, I need one of you or both of you to really just be the difference and take this attack to where it needs to be.
When you said it post game, I've been thinking about it now for the past couple of days, and I couldn't agree more in the sense of someone has to be the guy. Yeah, there has to be someone that is having a monster year, be it by numbers, be it by performances, and it can't be Trossard, it can't be Marino. Yeah, to some, it can't really be some of these other. They all need to step up. Don't get me wrong. Trossard's been doing his thing. Marino's been doing his thing. But we know, a monster year. Trossard's already on his way to a monster year. Marino's on for what the expectations are of those guys. They're already on their way to monster years.
Yeah. We said if Trossard goes out the team, that's cool. We've got what it's time for other guys.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what we were saying. So we need some of our top players. Odegaard kind of is included in this as well, even though he's good on the day. But we need someone to be defining point in the season. What I was thinking about on my way here was all the Premier League winners, like when Chelsea won over with Mourinho and like Costa went crazy, like it doesn't mean that Costa was the best player in the team. Hazard was the best player in the team, but Costa went crazy that year. Costa had the monster year. You know, there's however many Premier League trophies, 2010, Drogba, there's all these Man City seasons, Foden. We speak about it, you know, a couple seasons ago. Mane, when even though Salah was the best guy and Salah was getting numbers, Mane is also going to have a monster year. Like there's just with every Premier League, there is one or two, but definitely one guy that is having a monster year.
Yeah.
And we need that to turn these draws or losses into win, or those periods when we come out. Yeah, that game was winnable.
Yeah.
At Villa Park, man. After Trossard equalised and Villa were a bit afraid, thinking that like an avalanche was coming. And to be fair, it kind of did. Yeah. As you say, Odegaard was putting balls in the box and we were pushing them back and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. But someone needs to say, I'm having a monster year. I'm going to be the difference. Score the goal, get the assist, wherever it is. Just as I say, be the difference. And without that, I do think, to our later like sort of conversation about the title race, I do think that is like red flag. Like Saka's playing nice, Saka's playing well. It's not that he's having a bad year, but he's not necessarily having a monster year. We've seen Saka have better years. Yeah, the first half of last season when Saka was just getting a goal or like in every game.
Before you go in. Yeah.
You know, that's the kind of form that I think we will need from a player to truly pull us away to the gaps we want to get to, the 8 points.
So I mean, Saka's the only one in that attack that I think we have expectations of a monster year.
It's because we've seen it to some extent.
Right. The others,
Gyökeres should have that though, even though it's his first season in the league. Even though it's his first season in the league,
I guess. Yeah. And look, Gyökeres isn't doing enough. A lot being said about his cameo when he came on, which wasn't good, but he has just come back from injury.
Exactly. So
I'll give it some
tough.
leeway.
Exactly, all that kind of stuff. But
and I said this about Havertz as well, and I'm a Havertz guy. I need Havertz to come back because I think Havertz is like you're talking about having at least one.
Yeah, at least one.
And if it's one and only one, it needs to be Salah from last year.
Yeah.
With nobody else really, but Salah's having the best individual season maybe ever with 20 whatever. But ideally, it needs to be two: Foden and Haaland, Mane, Salah, whatever you said. Yeah. When we went with City in the title race and we got 89 points and we finished 2 points behind them, the two guys having monster years were Saka and Havertz.
Yeah.
Havertz ended with like 13 and 9.
Yeah.
Right, and he only started playing up top
from Jan. Yeah.
So Havertz has the resume there. He has the CV. I trust in Havertz. If I need Havertz to come back, and from Jan, I need him to just put up the numbers. Yeah, we've been saying Havertz is on the program from Jan when he gets back.
Yeah. No games off, no days off.
But the thing with Havertz and Gyökeres is that it's not a good look when they're in the team and they struggle to score goals. But when Mourinho goes up, then Mourinho scores goals.
Yeah,
that isn't a good look because that then starts to make me question that one for Mourinho. They're all different, right? Mourinho's a bit tapped because he has the intelligence to learn the strikers' runs and the movements, and that's why Mourinho gets the chances. And more often than not, when Mourinho gets the chances, he bags them. Yeah, but obviously he's still not a striker. Havertz has the IQ,
exactly.
And the intelligence.
He gets the chances. Sometimes he doesn't bag them, but he gets the chances.
Like
how many games do we kill him for missing?
The conversation we've been having about Gyökeres is that we haven't seen him miss chances. And we still haven't seen that.
Yeah.
But now that it's 15 games into the season, I think there's a question of why haven't we seen that? Because with Havertz, he was missing the chances.
Yeah.
But he's missing the chances because his IQ and his intelligence in the
just
movement
can't match.
Sometimes
what needs to be done on the right foot. Sometimes what needs to be done, and sometimes Havertz's whiskers wide. I remember some headers at Wolves. It's like, I agree, and I was saying it to you after the game. I was like, I said it on the pod. I was like, I can't kill Gyökeres yet in the early couple of games when we played United, when we played Liverpool, when we were playing Newcastle, because I was like, I'm yet to see Gyökeres like put through on goal to have that sort of chance that I'm expecting him to bury, that striker's chance. Yeah. But 15 games in, with the amount of minutes played, factoring in the Mourinho stuff, I'm starting to just be like, well, where are the shots at a bare minimum? Like, calm, I get it. Everybody was kind of killing him for they thought he's wearing jeans and he plays in Timberlands and he's got a baggy touch and all this kind of stuff. So he's been doing a lot to try and prove people that he can link up and that he can, sort of hang with the total football, all that kind of stuff. But bro, please don't forget what we've brought you to do. Please don't forget why you're here. And for example, someone like Eze, and it's not been up and down. I'm still confident in Eze. He just had a bad game against Aston Villa. Yeah, but he's taken on the program in the sense of he might have the most shots out of anybody in the club, and he has bare shots in the league. There've been bad shots, some of them have obviously gone in, all this kind of stuff. But that's what we brought him for, to be that difference, to be that X factor. We had a massive issue last season not taking enough shots, finishing games with 2 or 3 shots. Yeah. So for Gyökeres, for me, like, I get it, you've come back from injury. I get it, you're still ramping up. But there's some of these balls and there's some of these all-round play. There's sometimes where I'm just like, bro, don't look to lay this off. Drive and shoot. Take this off. Take the decision away from Saka. Take the decision away from Odegaard about what you want to do. Yeah. Just let them play into your feet or point to an area right over there and get the shot off. And I don't think he's doing that enough, being aggressive enough. And I know he's hungry for goals.
Yeah.
So it's a weird one, right? I know he's hungry for goals, but I don't know. I guess he's hoping that they all just come into this sort of tap-in 6-yard area, which is cool.
Yeah.
But I don't think that should negate you at least being the threat. Sometimes it just feels like the ball goes long and he just runs into the centre back.
Yeah.
And if there isn't someone to win the second ball, that's that. We have to wait for 5 minutes to see him, to see him get involved again.
I think, and this isn't to write him off at all.
No chance.
I still think Gyökeres has the capability to score goals, but I think there is a learning and an adaptation to playing against a low block basically every week. Yeah, that's what Arsenal come up against. It does give further credence to like Havertz Hive guys versus Gyökeres versus Marino Mob versus
Marino Mob.
I think ultimately the Havertz Hive guys can, as much as he misses his chances, like how Havertz can generate 0.8 xG chances playing against these low blocks.
Yeah. I think honestly, generally the standout for Marino, above his technique, above all of this kind of stuff, his IQ. Like, it seems as if when he's in the box, he has no other intention but to get on the end of a cross or to first time finish something. Like, otherwise he won't be in the box. Otherwise he's not there. Whereas sometimes I just feel like some of these other strikers, it's like Gyökeres is enjoying taking up 2 men's space, which is cool. But when we're starting to lose games and there's 20-minute spells where we're not scoring goals, that's where we want you, man.
Yeah, and at the bare minimum, we need the hold-up play.
Yeah,
which wasn't there in that
which
last
wasn't
20
there,
minutes.
man.
And just lastly on Arsenal, it annoys me even more because, like you say, that game was winnable. Yeah, and the reason that game was winnable is because Mikel Arteta's made it so.
Yeah.
But we've come away with a loss. And it's another loss to Unai Emery, we'll get onto, because the players, in my opinion, have let him down. Yeah, because Mikel Arteta, they tell us all the time, Declan Rice tells us that Mikel Arteta gives them
He's giving them the game plan.
And that spell that we had is the spell that Mikel Arteta is looking for.
That spell that we had is the spell he told them at half-time is coming.
Yeah.
Is what we need.
Yeah. That's what we
have
need
to
now.
take our chance. Yeah. Is what we have to take our chances.
And then we score early, and then we should go and get the other one, and then obviously we don't get that, and then the way you lose the game it's just sickening.
It's sickening, man. It's so sickening.
Look, that's all to say,
minute.
And obviously we will get to the title race talk, but nothing is over, nothing is done. But just quickly on the Villa side before we get to the title race talk, Emery,
shout out, yo,
they didn't score in their first 5 games.
Yeah, to They're where they are now. The wins
in the league.
That's like 5 or 6 wins in a row, and I'm still not convinced by this Villa team. And I'm going to give them praise. I think the manager deserves so much credit, man, because we're seeing out other clubs. Liverpool are in a similar situation to where Villa were, in the first 5, 6, 7, 8 game weeks, where like by the first 3 weeks they hadn't even scored a goal. When they were in the bottom 3 or whatever it was. Yeah, Emery's, and I don't think the Villa squad is better than the squad they had last year. Yeah, so Emery's managed to get a tune out of the boys, create some camaraderie, create some sort of like duty to perform better, to care. Because some clubs they can all fall apart A couple guys go, a couple guys don't get the contracts they want or move on or wherever it is, and everyone starts talking to the agents and all this kind of stuff. But Emery's told them that there is still a season here to be had, and
Yeah.
I respect it so much. I do respect it so much.
And but obviously to compare and contrast on the opposite end, if you've been watching the pod, you know that we've already coined the phrase the Emery Super Boost.
Yeah.
Watkins isn't firing, so to speak. He needs his minutes managed because he's carrying an injury. And Marlon, who we both thought was kind of mid, maybe still think is kind of mid.
I do.
But he's getting a tune out of Marlon.
He's
getting a tune out of Buendia. Even Jadon Sancho.
Now
if Emery does the super boost on Jadon Sancho, that's too far. It's too far. It's too far.
That's why I'm interested in Villa's season. Ultimately, I think it will end similarly to last year, where Villa are very good throughout the year, but in the final couple weeks, it's just all too much. Squad depth, injuries, playing 3 times a week, a couple bad losses, you might finish 6th, whatever it is. But how they're playing right now, if Villa Park stays a fortress, if they don't lose or they have no more than 3 losses at Villa Park, then that's probably good enough for a top 4 record.
Yeah.
Like, there's a couple other, we speak about Newcastle, Newcastle already lost 2 or 3 times at St. James's Park. Yeah. And that's a fortress. We know that's a fortress.
Yeah.
But they've already lost 2 or 3 times there.
Yeah.
So it's I don't think the squad depth is where it needs to be. Emery might need some help in Jan. But in terms of the 15 to 16 players that he has right now, he's definitely maximizing. He's definitely getting into that, like, maximizing the most out of this group.
Yeah.
And that's all I've asked. That's all you can ask for a manager. That's all the credit I used to give Arteta. I still give Arteta. But, like, to when he was getting us to top 4, he was maxing out squads. If Villa get top 4, he's maxed out the squad.
That is the remit. If you ever want to have a conversation about a manager, should he lose his job? The first question you should ask yourself is he getting the maximum out of the players on the pitch? Because that is the remit. That is the most important thing. So, yeah, well done Unai Emery. Well done Aston Villa. He's built a proper team as well. Tielemans, Camara,
no.
Can stand up to Bruno G, Tonali, Guimaraes. There's a pattern emerging. Zubimendi, Rice, whatever it is. Emery's noticed that the league has been put on watch by Eddie Howe, by Mikel Arteta.
Yeah. And he doesn't want to be left out.
Exactly.
He's definitely saying
he's smart enough to
know
what that means. So, look, that takes us quite nicely onto title race talk. Because Aston Villa, I'm going to ask you the question. They're 3 points behind Arsenal. I think they might actually be 5 points ahead of Chelsea.
Wow.
And Chelsea fans are getting away with it this week. We probably ain't going to have a.
But don't worry, we know we'll be back because I know what your team is.
You got Newcastle away soon. And I don't care if we have to cancel all of our plans with Podding after that game. So Chelsea getting loud. They beat Arsenal in the World Cup final.
Getting
in the title race. We're pushing on. Maresca's tactically outclassed.
He's everywhere. Yeah.
All of that. Aston Villa, Unai Emery, 3 points behind. What are you saying?
No. It's ultimately a squad depth thing.
Can they hang for a bit? And
I don't even think they can hang for a bit. I think honestly, coming to the title race talk, it's with all 3 of us, Villa, City, Arsenal, Chelsea, have had their waves. Yeah. Villa had a poor wave at the first 6 games of the season or wherever it was. Now they've had a great wave. Yeah, they're riding the points. City also had the up and down start, win, loss, win, loss, type vibes. And now they've found form. They've probably won 4 at their last 5, whatever it is. We've been weird. We started off meh. Then we had our wave where it was just wins. And now we're in a situation where we've not won our last 3 away games. Yeah, so it's evening out. Yeah, teams who can go on a run are showing that they can go on a run. And that's why I respect Villa's thing. They might be able to get top 4 because they're showing they can go on a run and get 6 wins in a row. I don't think it will be enough to keep him in a title race for long, just because I really just think the quality and the depth of quality for Villa is missing. They've got quality players in Rodgers and Watkins and Onana and Tielemans, these guys that you've mentioned, but I don't know how many deputies they have. And look at what we just had to do. Yeah. We didn't have Gabriel. We didn't have Saliba. We didn't have, all of this kind of stuff. If Villa get to that time in the season where there's it's turmoil and injuries and Mosquera, you
There's
guys,
no Onana in
yeah,
Canberra.
guys are landing funny and being out for two, and being out for 2 months.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how much they can sustain 6 wins in a row, 7 wins in a row. So I think that will keep them out of the title race. They might be able to hang for a little bit if guys are fit, because Rodgers is the balling and stuff. But I still think ultimately the quality that us and City have is superior. And us and City are waiting. Villa are maxing out now. We're waiting on superior talent to come back.
Yeah.
Both of us.
Agreed.
You know,
like they are the form team in the league. They're in great form at the minute. But also, like, we give Unai Emery his credit, and he deserves that. He is a top manager. But as much as their squad is an issue, I don't trust
the manager
Unai
enough.
Emery
Yeah.
to go the distance or be there even till March.
Are they
like
playing
you
Europa
say.
League?
Yeah, they're playing Europa League. But because I think there can be a game that on paper Villa should just be looking past it. There's 3 easy points and we move on. And Emery doesn't pick that up.
That is so true. Because how many times have I seen that already with Villa? Bro?
Yeah.
How many times am I looking at Villa away at Leeds, Villa away at Burnley, Villa away at whoever it is?
Yeah.
Nottingham Forest, who are down there. And you're thinking, I don't need to watch this game. I shouldn't tune in. This should just be an easy 3 points.
Yeah.
And you look at the scoreline, and it's 3-1 Forest, it's 2-2,
Yeah.
5 minutes to go.
Yeah.
You know, it's happened for the last 3 seasons under Emery, for sure. Every time because I have Konza in my team. I know.
Yeah.
I put him in because I'm like, this is a clean sheet. And Konza doesn't come out with a clean sheet, and Villa have lost. And
yeah. They do tend to lose.
I think they lost to Luton, like when Luton were in the Premier League, away at Luton's ground, or like at Villa Park, whenever it was. And I was like, I can't. I was banking on those 6 points.
Yeah.
You know,
or like, even draws, like we say, draws will kill you, right? Okay, but City, now they won 3-0 against Sunderland on the weekend. They obviously beat Fulham in the midweek, and they beat Leeds last weekend, courtesy of a last-minute goal. Foden scoring goals. Turkey actually leads the league in assists. He's got 5. Are they starting to purr? Are they starting to
City are
better?
They are starting to purr, and I only say that because Foden's scoring goals. Yeah, like the wins have been shaky. I'm not convinced entirely by the wins. Yeah, I don't know if you can go 5-1 up to Fulham, have Fulham score an extra 3 goals in that game. I should have scored the 5th. They should have equalized. I don't know if that, like, you know, just goes away overnight, or if, you know, those symptoms don't sort of hurt you later down the season. I don't think they've proven to be a solid defensive unit. Yeah. And if City want to go into a title race thinking that we need to win every game 5-4, then I feel a bit more confident. You know? But for sure, the groove that they're in right now is a little bit scary. It's because other guys are stepping up. I think that's the scariest part of these last 3 games. It's not that Haaland's scored, you know, 8 goals in the last 3 games. It's that Foden's back and Foden's chipping in and Cherky's back. And
I mean, the Sunderland game is they've won 3-0 and Haaland hasn't scored.
Yeah, Reinders is coming in with his 2nd goal in the season when they need it, and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, that is. I think for me, honestly, like, I don't know. I fear City as a team. Yes, in terms of their talent and quality, they've got good talent and quality, but I think I fear City, the mentality, and more so by and large just Pep, like the mentality that Pep will instill in this team, especially if we show fragility and weakness. Like if we show that we're not going to win the tough games like the Villa Parks and Chelsea's when they're down to 10 men, and, you know, Sunderland, which are all tough games, and in all of those games, like at some point I said I'll take a point.
Yeah,
you
agreed.
know. But I feel like if that keeps on happening, then Pep will be able to manufacture almost any group of 11 players.
Yeah.
Or 12 players.
It's the fact that we haven't won one of those.
Yeah. That's what worries me. I think Pep,
because even if we just held on at Sunderland,
I feel a lot more. Yeah.
Right, but
I think that's the part that worries me the most is we're showing not even like lack of quality, but mental fragility. Yeah, which I think for someone like Pep is even sort of more tasty. Like that's what he's really that's what he's really gonna cling on to when he's doing film and study and tape and telling Rodri and telling Haaland and telling Guardiola and Diaz. He's like, yo, don't make mistakes, because you're not that far away from this. You know, like you, I know you think that you're far and you might be 8 points and all this kind of stuff. You know, but I think that's where I get afraid, because I know, as you say, as we've said, like if City are going to stay close to us and it comes down to some sort of 10-game shootout and there is only a 2-point lead, then I think the boys could be nervous.
It's going to be sticky.
I think the boys, and I think City, as I said, I think we've seen it before. I think Pep might just, I'm not at that point yet. I don't think City are that same team that they've been from the past. So that's why I'm not at that point. But we're showing some mental fragility at a time when Pep's already come out and done the song and dance about the season starts now. You know,
see, he's coming out. He was like, I don't want to be arrogant, but I have a lot of experience winning Premier League.
You see,
I think look, I agree with you. Yeah, I think a lot of that is also, and I'm guilty of this as well. Arsenal PTSD.
Seasons gone by.
And what's gone on in the past. Obviously, those kind of conversations about it being a shootout in the last 10 games, we're just gonna have to cross that bridge when we get there, because we can't predict. And hopefully this team stands up and this team learns. And But obviously that's way down in the future. I think Pep's message to his team, and that's why I think it would have been such a like mental blow if we'd gone 8 points clear, and having won at Villa Park. But I think Pep's message to the team since they lost at Newcastle has been just stay within 5 points.
Yeah,
right. Just stay within 5 points by the time it gets to March, and then obviously we have to play them at the Etihad and whatever. But I still believe, because I agree with you, it's not the same City team as before, right? It gets a bit scary if Foden's going to start scoring goals. But I still believe wholeheartedly that the only team that can stop Arsenal in this league is Arsenal. And that's where the mental that sort of stuff
is annoying.
And it might be harsh because we've just lost at Villa Park. And City lost there.
I was going to say, to the loss, it's annoying, it's frustrating. There's the 90th minute stuff that makes you like dive into it deeper and all this kind of stuff, yeah. But if there was a loss to have, our home record is still intact. We said we can't lose at home this season. We haven't lost to like an ever, you know,
a team that we should win this
exactly, you know, exactly.
I don't think that was the attitude. The attitude was I hope we win this. Yeah, for Villa Park, it's not we should go there.
We didn't even go there and get battered. We're coming away on some 3-0 thing. We have to re-question everything that we've seen throughout the season. Like we've lost on the margins at Villa Park
in the last minute.
Away from home,
the form team in the league
with all the minor stuff, the injuries, all this kind of stuff playing into it. Like that's why there isn't the grounds to panic yet. But I agree, man. Like,
but yeah, it will be Arsenal that stop Arsenal winning this league.
The like for me, the light at the end of the tunnel is all right. Calm. Let's get Gabriel. Let's get Saliba back. Let's get the run going. Let's get the run going where we win 5 or 6. Because I do think obviously it looks so different if that
has to start now.
Yeah, I think it looks so different if that happens because there's only so many teams that have proven that they can win 5 or 6 in the league.
Agreed. And the way these December fixtures come round so quickly, fast.
But it was all good just a week ago.
By the time you get to the middle of Jan, you've played 22, 23 games, right? Past halfway point of the season. And that 6-game winning run you're talking about, that has to start now. Because we haven't won in our last 3.
Yeah.
Away games. That has to start now, and we have to go and do that now. So look, that's down to Arsenal. That's down to Mikel Arteta. Like you say, hopefully we get our players back. And
the race is on. That's like if you didn't know already.
But we could be back here next week. Well, fingers crossed we beat Wolves. I mean, Wolves were fucking shit yesterday against Man United. They look awful, but no doubt they'll come in, they'll work hard, they'll put everyone behind the ball, and it'll be a bit of a slogfest. But fingers crossed we get our 3 points against
Wolves.
Wolves.
Make it tough on ourselves.
Yeah, agreed. But we get the 3 points, the gap grows to 5, and City go to Selhurst Park on Sunday. So we could be sat back here next week. And we know Selhurst Park's a bogey ground for them and everything.
Yeah.
Palace, we mentioned them at the top of the show. I think they're 4th, 5th?
Yeah. They're up there.
So look, it could look very different, and then you go from there, and we see what happens. But
watch this space.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
But look, we all know why you're here.
The main event.
Yeah. Although to be fair, a lot of you probably here because you haven't seen us talk about an Arsenal loss in since the end of August.
You've been waiting on this
Yeah,
one.
it's
You're just
September,
circling dates in your
October,
calendar.
November, it's like 4 months since you heard us talk about an Arsenal loss. So maybe that was the main event. But Mohamed Salah, and we're not even going to talk about the game. Yeah, we're going to give Leeds their props.
Shout out Farker.
Daniel
He's an
Vargas,
MVP.
He's an
MVP. If you didn't know, he's an
100%.
MVP.
He's my first MVP written down here. That's where we'll talk about Leeds. Tanaka, MVP. Dunked on Chelsea and Liverpool in a week. Calvert-Lewin. Both of them
City.
in a week. Yeah. So, but we're not going to talk about the Leeds-Liverpool game. It was a good game. 3-3 end result.
Barn burner.
Yeah. Shout out Ellen Road as well, making it tough for guys. But the big story was after the game, after Mohamed Salah had been left on the bench for a third game in a row. He came on at halftime against Sunderland.
Yeah.
Didn't get any minutes against West Ham, and then didn't get any minutes against Leeds. Now, what I want to do is I'm just going to read out this Mo Salah statement, if I can find it, just so everyone can, and then we can get into it and we can dissect it.
The nuts and bolts. Everyone's got an opinion.
Okay, here. So Mo Salah has come out and said, this was after the game, that I'm sitting on the bench for 90 minutes, the third time on the bench. I think for the first time in my career, I'm very, very disappointed, to be fair. I've done so much for this club down the years, and especially last season. Now I'm sitting on the bench, and I don't know why. It seems like the club has thrown me under the bus.
Mm-hmm.
That is how I am feeling. I think it is very clear. Dramatic pause there. You have to put the dramatic
dot.
Yeah. That is how I'm feeling. I think it is very clear that someone wanted me to get all of the blame. I got a lot of promises in the summer, and so far I am on the bench for 3 games, so I can't say they keep their promise. He also then went on to talk about, he said, I can't believe it. I'm very disappointed. I've done so much for the club. I said many times before that I have a good relationship with the manager. Suddenly we don't have a relationship. I don't know why. It's not acceptable to me, to be honest. I don't know why it always happens to me. We throw Mo under the bus because he's the problem. I don't think I'm the problem. I called my mother yesterday. You didn't know I wasn't going to start today. I knew that. I said, come to the Brighton game. It doesn't matter if I play or not. I'm going to enjoy it. We'll see what happens. In my mind, I'm going to enjoy it anyway because I don't know what's going to happen anyway. The game will be at Anfield, so that will be my goodbye before I go to AFCON. So, a lot to break down there.
A lot.
Now, what I want to start off by saying is that a lot of what Salah's talking about will be difficult for anybody, yeah, and I include Jamie Carragher and all these guys that think they're close to the scene and whatever to talk about, because he's talking about broken promises.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff off the
backroom
field
stuff that we don't know.
Yeah, he's talking about someone at the club doesn't want him there. We don't know who that is. We don't know if he's talking about Slot or Michael Edwards or Richard Hughes. So there's that stuff. There's also, Carragher's obviously had his say and he went in on him. But I don't think it's black and white. Yeah, this situation. I think the conversation
complex
around it is very nuanced. Yeah, which is what we do here on this podcast. We have nuanced conversations. Yeah, not just about Arsenal, about Chelsea, about Newcastle, about whoever.
Do you remember when Liverpool fans were saying, "Don't talk about my club. You can't talk about."
About my club. Yeah, with the Trent, you don't know. Yeah.
Don't tell me how to feel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're not a Liverpool fan. You don't understand.
Only speak about your club.
Yeah, exactly. So, but you know what? In some cases here, if you are a Liverpool fan, it is different for you because you probably have to pick a side.
Yeah, definitely.
But for us, for other fans, we don't need to pick a side. We can look at it from
objectively.
From both points. Well, I don't know if it's going to be
objective.
I'm biased, but we can look at it from both points of view and try and see what was going on. Now, what I will say, and I feel like you'll agree with this, is that if we were Liverpool fans, we would be disappointed with Salah. Yeah.
It's interesting.
Like if that was an Arsenal player, if that was Bukayo Saka,
yeah,
you'd be disappointed because it feels like that's something that can be dealt with behind the scenes. It feels like there's no benefit to Liverpool Football Club.
No,
from that.
That's where I agree with you 100%. as I say, I got Liverpool fan friends, and there is like a civil war going on.
Mm.
It's the club, or it's Salah, or it's Slot, or it's Salah, or it's whatever. I agree that Salah's put Liverpool in a difficult situation by coming out and doing that interview. It looks as if there's friction and there's a fraction. Guys don't really,
Yeah.
mess with each other.
I mean, he has put the club on blast publicly.
Yeah, and that's right before big games. You're in turmoil, you're in bad losses, all this kind of stuff. So I hear that. The only bail I'll shoot him, and this does come down to, I guess, bias on whose side you're on and this and that, is things must be really bad for Salah to speak out.
Mm.
Whatever promises, whatever the friction is, whatever the tension is, whatever's going on behind closed doors. Jamie said that yesterday Salah's come to the communal area 4 times in his career.
Yeah, in 8 years.
So things must be really bad.
And one was post-bust up with Klopp. One was last year. He scored the winner at Southampton.
Talk about contracts.
And came out talking about the club haven't offered me anything. I don't know when the other one was, and then obviously one was this time, which tells you that Salah, guys are talking about it's an emotional outburst. It's not an emotional.
It's not an emotional. He's been feeling this for weeks.
Salah, when he comes and he does these, they're saying he stopped in the mix zone 4 times in 8 years. Yeah. Salah stopped in the mix zone.
I didn't know his English was like that.
Yeah.
I didn't even hear.
He stopped in the mix zone. He's picked out Norwegian TV and he said, I'm going to give you the biggest scoop of the year.
The intern.
But he's tactical with it. Like we said, the Klopp one, he was disappointed about being on the bench and all of that. He wanted to come out and talk his...
Yeah.
He waited until he scored the winner against Southampton to come out and talk about the contract and what's going on. And Liverpool fans, they come to Anfield with this, give Mo his dough, whatever.
Man said played on the
heartstrings, yeah. And then this one, he's premeditated. It's been planned. I'm gonna do this. Guys are saying he wouldn't have done it if Liverpool had won. I feel like he might have still done it. Right, even if Liverpool had won, because
I don't know.
Because but I don't think it's a case of if they'd won, Salah's not coming out and saying anything. If he's coming out on the bench, I don't think he really cares because the ship's burning. Right? I think Salah knows that the ship's gonna burn, whether they beat Leeds or not.
Yeah.
So that part is premeditated from Salah. He's done it on purpose. He knows that essentially Salah's made it him or Slot, and he's made the club make that decision.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. As a Liverpool fan, I would be very disappointed. However, also because of the things you said, Liverpool are in turmoil. Salah's meant to be one of the leaders. Dominic Szoboszlai comes out, does his interview. What happens inside the dressing room stays inside the dressing room, and then Salah's putting the whole thing on blast. Yeah, he's meant to be one of the leaders. He should be galvanizing that team and bringing them out. So that's cool. That's from the Liverpool fan point of view. But we need to talk about this from the other side, which I also agree with, because ultimately I think for a lot of people, this conversation is boiling down to should star players receive star treatment, which is something you always, for a long time, I've been saying that you are all for it.
I'm all for it.
And I agree with you. Yeah. Star players should get the star treatment.
Jamie agrees.
Because they're not the same as anybody else. Yeah. And when we talk about an ego, because guys are calling Salah egotistical, of course he's egotistical.
Of course. That's why he's at the top.
Exactly. If you want to talk about, like, if guys are struggling to understand why Salah's done this or why Salah thinks that he doesn't have to fight for his place and because he's earned it, go and watch the Michael Jordan documentary. That's all I can tell you is go and watch that. And obviously, Salah's not Michael Jordan. I'm not saying he's Michael Jordan, but that's the like that for me was the best sort of way into the mindset of that elite tier athlete.
Elite.
Right? That's what you have to do.
That's what you have to do. Yeah.
And Salah, again, I'm not going to say he's Jordan because that is a bit blasphemous, but he's up there. He's in that. That is his mindset. Yeah. Salah will believe that Liverpool are where they are because of him.
Yeah.
And I agree with your thing on star treatment because I don't think that Salah is wrong to believe that. I think he needs to believe that to do what he does.
All I'm saying is, because I agree, I think big stars should be treated as big stars. Salah's not any regular guy. It's not Curtis Jones coming out. It's not Gravenberch. It's not Gakpo. It's not Szoboszlai coming out. Yeah, Salah's been in this thing for 7 years, 8 years. Carragher made the point about Salah being a Chelsea reject, how he's never won AFCON, how before he came to Liverpool, it wasn't really like that for Salah. But I think it goes both ways.
But you know what I will say on that, yeah, is that I do actually think like a lot of people are throwing that at Carroll and put it, but I think it's been taken out of context a bit because I think his overall point by saying that was that it's not like Mo Salah has changed Liverpool Football Club's life, right? As much as because he wasn't this like a lot of the NBA guys,
Yeah.
they are like John Morant can talk his shit at Memphis because he's the guy, and then he can go somewhere else and be the guy. Salah wasn't the guy before he
But
came to Liverpool.
I actually disagree because I do think he's changed Liverpool fans' lives.
He
Like
has,
I do think that
and Liverpool Football Club has
Liverpool,
changed his
the
life.
whole essence of Liverpool, exactly, it's worth both ways, and that's why he feels as if he's earned his.
I think that's the point that Carragher was trying to make.
And I hear his ultimate overall point, yeah. But when you're talking about Salah being a Chelsea reject, when you're saying those words on Sky, when you're talking about Salah never winning AFCON, all that kind of stuff, that as much as I agree with the point you're making,
Yeah, it feels personal.
You're making it personal,
Yeah.
and it goes both ways,
Yeah.
Like Liverpool 7-8 years ago before Salah joined, like they'd won a Champions League in 2005 and they'd never won the Premier League.
Yeah.
They'd never done it.
Yeah.
They weren't this sort of serial winning club. Yeah, they were a big club. They were a massive club in the UK, but they had all the history in the world and none of the like immediate relevance that Man United and Chelsea and all these other clubs had. Even Arsenal.
Yeah.
So it goes both ways. Salah's been a part of it. It's a team sport, so he's not like the only reason, of course. But in terms of Liverpool Football Club, I feel like there is no bigger dog than Salah. He is the top dog. Yeah. He's the all-time. Gerrard's great. Gerrard's in that conversation. He's right there with him. But Salah's got 2 Premier Leagues, in your lifetime. Like, I don't think you spent 30 years before that. You spent 10, 15 years with Gerrard before that. You never saw that happen.
Yep.
He's got the Champions League. He's got the FA Cup. He's got all that kind of stuff. I feel as if Salah wants to come out and speak on his time at Liverpool, the current state of Liverpool, his relationship with Liverpool Football Club, he's the big dog. He gets to speak on it. Like, I agree, it's put the club in a tough position. I agree, it's not the best for the current environment of the club, especially with all the losses on the board and all that kind of stuff. But I don't think anybody has a right to tell Salah, don't speak on Liverpool or hold your tongue or don't come out and say this, don't come out and say. It's the same thing I've been saying with Thierry. Like, there's certain stuff that I wish Thierry hasn't said about Arsenal publicly in the media and all this kind of stuff. But that's the big dog. If Thierry's saying the standards of this club are winning the Premier League, the standards of the club are winning the Premier League.
Yeah.
Like, I can't look at Thierry in the face and be like, nah, bro.
I mean, Cristiano.
Nah.
That's the one you can go to, right?
Like, I don't think it should be this. I don't think it should be that. I think like
Cristiano said the facilities are the same from 24 years ago when he was there.
Bro, if it was whoever else saying that, I'm like, I think you should keep that quiet to it. But this is Cristiano. These are the big stars. So that's what leads me to believe that things must be so bad behind the scenes. Salah can't stand being on the bench. He doesn't think that he's the problem. He doesn't understand why he's being benched. The manager hasn't clearly communicated that to him. All the stuff that he said. It's not that Salah is 100% right. I'm sure the club are trying to make not business decisions, but they're trying to make decisions for what's best for the team. Yeah, that's what they think is best for the team. Yeah. And there is going to be a little bit of like, whatever you told Ronaldo, if you told him taking him out of the team is best for the team, he wouldn't believe that. Yeah. So of course there is that like element of ego, an element of like, you can't tell Salah to sit down. But I agree about the big stars. I also agree to a certain extent. I say this with LeBron, like, I think Salah has done so much for Liverpool. I think LeBron has done so much for, the NBA and all this kind of stuff that there is very few guys that get to choose how they leave and their way out of the club. And I think, and this is crazy to say, I know this might be a hot take, but like, even if Salah was to be the problem, which I don't think he is, even if he was to be the problem and stink it up for a year before he cuts ties, goes to Saudi, wherever it is, I think he's owed that. I think he's kind of like even if whatever happens this season, whether Slot can fix it or not, if all Salah wants to do is start games and chase down goal records and assist records for one season after the 7 seasons that he's given you where he's won everything, Like, and that's obviously a niche mentality. I'm not every guys. Liverpool fans will be like, no one comes before the club, no one's bigger than the club. This and that, this and that, this and that. But I think when it comes down to it, when Mo leaves and you guys move on from Mo and all this kind of stuff, I think I don't need to tell Liverpool fans how big Mo Salah is for Liverpool Football Club. For Liverpool Football Club, I think he is the biggest dog. I don't even think Gerrard can chat to him. Like, I think he is the biggest dog in the club. He has done so much for the club in the last. The only guys is like Kenny Dalglish and the legends of, and Gerrard. He's in that class, yeah, where they can have convos and stuff and they can have stuff to say, but I don't think anybody can tell Salah not to speak on Liverpool or not to do this or not to do that or to not feel a way about not starting or to, for the, and it's not as if Salah is 3, 4, 5 years removed from his work. It's not as if like he's this like 40-year-old guy who's trying to live off his reputation when he was in his early 30s and 20s.
Yeah.
Like Salah was doing all of this generational stuff last season, like 12 games ago.
Yeah.
He was the best guy. He should have won Ballon d'Or. He should have done this and that. And so it shows you how quickly things can come and change and guys can get on you.
I mean, there's a couple points there, yeah, especially in relation to what he said. Now, firstly, your point about what Salah's done for that club and how Salah feels. A lot of people have been saying that their mentality of any player should never be that I've earned my place and I don't have to fight for it. Now,
I agree.
Again,
for the most part.
Again, it comes down to, do you believe star players should get star treatment? Yeah. I don't think that Salah has to fight for his place every day. Honestly.
I agree with you.
Yeah. I don't think he has to fight for his place every day because I think he has earned it. Yeah. And like you say, if it had been 2-3 years removed from the best, what we've seen from Salah, then cool. Like maybe you do need to get back to fighting every day because you're not you're not the star player anymore that deserves the star treatment. But like you say, it's 3-4 months removed from what we described as one of the greatest individual Premier League seasons ever.
Liverpool fans weren't sure last season if they're going to finish in the top 4.
Yeah. Goals and assists and everything that Mo Salah put up, that is Mo Salah's Premier League. That is not Arne Slot's Premier League. I know Liverpool fans are going to hate that. Arne Slot can have that on the CV and whatever, but that is Mo Salah's Premier League. Now, we're only 2-3 months removed from that. Salah is the best player at Liverpool. Salah is the best attacker at Liverpool because it's definitely not
still his team, still his franchise.
We're still watching you.
Yeah.
Don't think we're just going to come in, talk about your careers and skip out on you, bro. Yeah. Wirtz is not pulling up trees.
Yeah.
So Salah is their best attacker. He is the most likely to score a goal. He is the most likely to drag them out of this mess, as he's done year on year on year on year. Yeah. So he doesn't need, in my opinion, to fight for his place every day because he has somewhat earned it. At least for this point. And now I can understand that is different if you think Salah is washed. Now, if you think Salah is washed and he is no longer
that's a different conversation,
then cool, he can be on the bench and he has to get back to fighting and he has to do everything he can to prove he should be back on that pitch. I don't think Salah's washed. Like you say, we're not that far removed. Yeah, maybe the contract, the big money, whatever it might be, but I still think Salah can score goals.
He doesn't drink. He's not a smoker. He doesn't miss games through muscle injuries and all that kind of stuff. Like, he's like, the whole Salah being on the bench thing for 3 games is crazy because his record of starting games and finishing games for Liverpool is ridiculous, bro. I think before these 3 games that he's been benched and stuff, I remember the guys used to throw stats around about Salah's only missed 3 or 4 competitive games for the last 5 years, 6 years for Liverpool.
No, he's a top professional.
Like,
he's always fit.
And now he's on the bench because the manager's saying that we need to go in this and that direction after a 400k contract.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
And look, so now the other part of the Salah's comments that people are talking about is the scapegoat thing.
Yeah, of course.
Now, guys are talking about it like, oh, we've never criticized Salah on the pitch and whatever, and we're not done this and that and whatever. But I don't think that's what Salah's saying. I don't think Salah's saying, oh, I'm getting criticized for. I think Salah's point is, okay, cool. They're on a bad run of form and they're losing games. So Arne Slot takes him out of the team for the West Ham game. That's fine. I'm not saying that Salah gets to pick the team. Yeah, the manager gets to pick the team. So fine. You take Salah out and you beat West Ham. Cool. not a great performance, but
Yeah.
you beat West Ham. You go to Sunderland and you want to keep it the same. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep it the same.
Yeah.
You've just won after a bad run of form, but then it's 0-0 at half time. You're still poor,
Yeah.
and you bring Salah on,
Yeah.
and you end up drawing the game. Now you go to Leeds, and it's clearly not like the fact that Salah's not in the team anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
After
Yeah.
West Ham, you can run that because he's come out and you've won. But Sunderland, that's not the case. And now Leeds, he doesn't come on the pitch at all. When Salah says he's a scapegoat, I think he means that. I think that is targeted at Arne Slot, because Salah is the one that has come out of the team when Konate has been one of the worst centre backs in the league this year.
Of course.
Right, but Konate doesn't come out, even though Joe Gomez has been there to potentially come in and have minutes instead of Konate.
Yeah.
Right, Kirkes has been terrible.
Has been awful.
Right, but he still gets his game time.
Yeah.
Gravenberch hasn't been good.
Yeah, Frimpong's not been fit.
But he still plays.
I don't know if he
Frimpong's
trusts
not been
Bradley
fit.
all the way.
Isak.
Yeah, 100 whatever mil.
Yeah. But Isak gets the treatment from Arne Slot. We're gonna play him through tiredness and fatigue because we need to get him fit. Wirtz, who's been terrible, still doesn't have a goal.
Yeah,
gets his minutes, keeps playing. Sunderland, Leeds, whatever.
Yeah.
Gakpo, his Dutch boy.
Yeah,
keeps his place in the team. All of these guys, I don't even care if they've been better than Salah this season, right? Because we can admit that Salah's been poor this season, but he is still Mo Salah.
Yeah,
he is still the guy that won them the title last year. Why is he getting dropped and taken out of the team before anybody else to make it look like we need to drop Salah to get better?
And it adds to the point. The scapegoat thing adds to the point about the promises thing. Yeah, I think it's 2 and 2. I think, and we don't know the promises that Salah's been made. So we always have to take this with a pinch of salt. But I think when they gave Salah a 400k contract, they were telling him that you're still the man. You're still the franchise guy. This team is still built and revolving around you. Yeah. So how can that be true if I'm on the bench? How can that be true if Slot is seeming to prefer all these other guys, Isak, Wirtz, whoever, ahead of me? How can you tell me that I'm the guy and give me a 400k contract and the manager's on the bench almost making me a scapegoat for the poor results? I think Salah had the easiest convo with Slot at the beginning of the year. He just told Slot, I'm going to do more of the same. I'm going to hang around in the goal area. I'm going to come alive in the final third. And if there's a goal to be had or a shot to be taken, I'll take it.
Yeah.
If there's a pass to be made, I'll make it. Yeah. And it seems as if Slot hasn't made that the focal point. For me, this is my opinion now, it seems as if Slot for me hasn't made that the focal point of his system. He's not really making a system by and large surrounded by whether we live or die by what Salah does, the shots he takes and all this kind of stuff. He wants to get Wirtz going, he wants to get Ekitike going, he wants to get Gakpo going, he wants to get all these guys sort of firing up and playing a different style of football, and then also have Salah hopefully just add on.
Yeah.
And it's not really meshing like that. No one's really doing the hard yards because Salah's not doing the hard yards.
Like,
he's deserved. He's not doing the hard yards.
You've said before about you can only have one luxury player.
You can only have one luxury player, and he's moving as if I can get 3 or 4 luxury players and then tell them they're all the guys. Tell him Wirtz you're the guy,
Ekitike.
But someone's gonna have to do the hard yards because Salah for sure is looking at everybody like I'm the guy. I'm not doing the hard yards as he should. So that's why I think the conundrums are coming in, and I agree with Jamie's point to the extent of like you would want Salah to help Isak and Wirtz acclimatize and learn the ropes and all this kind of stuff, but I think it does them a disservice, and it does Salah a disservice. Like, these are £100 million signings. Like, I agree Salah should help them. I agree that it is a bit disappointing that he's maybe not rolling it across for them or giving them a charity penalty or whatever it is. But at the same time, they knew all of that coming into the season. They knew who Salah was. They knew Salah's going to take pens. He's interested in his numbers. And these are £100 million players. We're babying them as if they're like 30, 40 million pound guys that have to get, bro, you're £100 million to score yourself a goal. Like,
and also just quickly, if you're asking Salah to now roll one across the goal to put it on a plate for somebody else, that's not how Salah's been getting his 25 goals every season to win you major trophies. By rolling it. That's not what the star players with the star.
That's also not what you
ego,
paid him 400K to do.
right? If LeBron needs to take the final shot,
we saw
LeBron's
it
going to
the other
take the
night.
final shot, right? If Michael Jordan, Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, if they need to step up, they're going to step up. They're not going to be like, oh, let me pass this one off. And that ego,
It's what's got them
a lot of Liverpool fans, a lot of people that are talking about this have a problem with. They're calling out Salah's ego. But they're not saying that at the same time, that ego is why he is who he is, why Liverpool have won what they've won.
He's the top dog. I do think you don't get one without the other. I do think that it's, I hear it that no one's bigger than the club. Of course, I hear it. The club has to move on. And if there's business decisions to be made, then you make business decisions. But I do think with Salah, where there is a like section of not people, but I don't know how to describe. There's a group that are treating Salah like he is just any other guy at Liverpool. And he isn't. Like, with all the context applied, this isn't a guy that you just do these like broad stroke brushes of how they should be and how they should act. He isn't Curtis Jones, bro.
Yeah.
He isn't Conor Bradley. He isn't any of these guys that you can just say, oh yeah, he should shut up and, you know, dribble. He should just be thankful and he should just be this and that. And he should just, you know, he's not bigger than the club. Sit on the bench for 3 games. You should be thankful that you're playing for. Bro, Salah he's one of the guys. He's on the top of the top tables of Liverpool legends. Like, taking a sleeping giant like Liverpool that hadn't won a Premier League in 30 years to 2 Premier Leagues under 2 different managers, all that kind of stuff, with the goals that he scored and the notable contributions. He's not even a bit part player in those trophies, man.
Yeah. And obviously it's a bit different in NBA because there's less players on the team, and obviously the franchise player is literally a term. But LeBron can say that he I don't know, but he could probably say he's bigger than Cleveland, than the Cavs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It might not be nice to hear. But
he has more franchises than them. He has more chips, than them.
Yeah, right? So, and obviously it's a bit different in basketball, but LeBron will believe, and probably rightly so, that the Cavs aren't really anything without his chip there in 2018 or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, Mo Salah, like I said, it is different in football, but Mo Salah, with his ego and with like who he is as a footballer, can believe that Liverpool would still be 40 years without a Premier League title if he didn't come to the club. Right? I think he is within his rights to believe that. Whether he's right or wrong is irrelevant. Yeah, it's just he can believe that because they didn't win until he came.
It's especially like the LeBron thing at the Cavs. It's like LeBron can believe in the Cavs that besides maybe the owner, I have the second most important voice.
In
this organization.
Yeah.
And I think Salah's kind of on that type of time where he's feeling as if he should have the second most. Is maybe Edwards and the GM.
Yeah. And then it's him.
And then it's me. I have the second most important voice. Me and Van Dijk are together. If we're telling you the team needs this, the team needs this. If we're telling you that we need to be doing this, we need to be doing this. Yeah. And I can't really, and that's my overall point, thank you, is I can't really, or I don't know too many people that can look at Salah and tell him differently. Like, and really have a case to say your voice isn't bigger than X, Y, and Z. And I was going to say, I was kind of stirring the pot.
But that is why at the start, I did want to say that if we were Liverpool fans, if this was Arsenal.
Yeah, you wouldn't be saying that.
Like, I would be disappointed. I would still understand that Salah's got the ego and everything, but what Salah has done here categorically has not helped Liverpool Football Club.
No, categorically,
right? Which will be
The
disappointing.
pressure to play tonight, we don't know, but the pressure to play tonight,
not just play, but to
immense,
get a result,
immense.
And that.
But how bad are things for him to do that?
Yeah, agreed. And that's where, like, we can touch on this final part of the conversation with Slot, because we haven't mentioned Slot yet. But yeah, just to make that clear, like, I fully think the Liverpool fans should be upset and annoyed. With what Salah's done. And I was thinking about it, and obviously it's different. Like, Saka and Saliba have signed their contracts, and they've literally told us in their like contract signings, whatever, that they still owe Arsenal football
Trophies,
club
yeah.
something. They owe the fans, the
Yeah,
manager,
yeah, yeah.
whatever. Arsenal have, in their situations, Arsenal have given them everything basically up until this point, and they haven't really given anything back to Arsenal yet, right? In terms of what you need to
What you
win.
need.
But Salah will feel like Liverpool gave him everything in
An
terms of the
opportunity,
club and
yeah.
whatever, but he has given Liverpool everything,
Everything he
right?
has, for sure.
Exactly, right? Goals and assists and whatever. Now, the question for Arne Slot is now, firstly, yes, Salah's wrong to do the interview, yeah, and address that stuff publicly. And as Liverpool fans, they will be angry with that. But like you say, how bad has it got for Salah to come out and do that? The reason Salah has come out and done that is because clearly
He
and
feels some
very
disrespect.
obviously,
Yeah.
Arne Slot has not managed the
Yeah,
star
yeah,
player,
100%.
and he has not given the star player
The respect he
the star
deserves, yeah,
treatment and
yeah.
respect that they should get. Maybe if that's a warning about you're not going to be in the team or what the
Reasons
future,
why.
whatever
Yeah,
it is.
yeah. A chance to
yeah.
get ahead of it.
And they touched on this on FCM. I don't know if you saw
No.
when because obviously Fuad's Dutch, they were talking about Dutch guys being blunt and straight to the point. And Fuad was saying, "Yeah, you British like to be mollycoddled and like round the point and whatever, but the Dutch guys are just blunt and they tell you how it is." And we've spoken about that.
That's true, a
Koeman,
million times. We know,
Eric Ten Hag and Cristiano Ronaldo.
It's facts at this point. It's not even a
right. So we can imagine how Arnslot's probably dealt with that. Right. Arnslot came out in his press conference yesterday and said, I'm calm and polite, but I'm not weak." Right. He came out with some quotes. He was like, "I told Salah in front of everyone that he wasn't coming with us, in front of the whole group, that he wasn't going to be on the plane to Milan." And we can imagine how Arnslot's probably dealt with that. So Arnslot has dealt with this poorly for Salah to come out and do what he's done.
Yeah.
And now, even though it's almost given him maybe more time because Liverpool can't seem to be choosing the player over the manager, so it's probably actually somewhat giving him more time. It seems to have made it more obvious to Liverpool fans that he is a dead man walking now. Before it was like he can claw it back.
Yeah, but now
that Salah's come out and said this, as much as they're not saying Slot should go and we're not backing Salah, we're backing Slot, they're all unanimously saying he's a dead man walking, because what has happened with Salah, and I'll ask you this question as well, if whether or not we've seen Salah play his last game in a Liverpool shirt, is down to Arne Slot.
No, I don't think we've seen Salah play his last game because I think he loves Liverpool too much, honestly. I think if Liverpool were in a situation like if they won the next game, they could go to 5th or 4th, Salah would want to play that game to get them there. But the management of Slot in this situation, and this, again, it speaks to big star stuff. If Slot had fallen out with any other player, he'd be in the exact same situation he was last week, where it's just results will turn this around. Yeah, if you're going to fall out with Curtis Jones, if you're going to fall out with McAllister, if you're going to fall out with any of these guys, but you're winning games, guys will ditch McAllister, guys will dump Curtis Jones, guys will get rid of Conor Bradley. Yeah, but if you're going to have poor results and beef the main guy, the top dog, Arteta couldn't beef Aubameyang and lose games.
Yeah,
it's one or the other. Yeah, that's why you become a dead man walking. But yeah, it's quite clear that Salah's felt some sort of massive disrespect to come out and give that interview. And I think what it means for Slot is if Slot wants to sort of rejig things and he doesn't want the focal point of the team to be with Salah, he's got to have an honest conversation, a real honest conversation with Salah and the board, both at the same time. And then he's got to remove himself and say, look, I've been honest to both parties. If you're wondering why I'm going in this direction, it's because I've told you that I think Frimpong and Wirtz and Ekitike, and that's the future. And that's where we need to be. I think Salah's washed. But if he hasn't said that to Salah and he's slyly doing things like leaving him out the team and he's not messaging him as much, he's not getting back to Salah's calls or whatever it is, he's, and he's just coming and telling the group, yeah, I'm leaving Salah out today to like do it as a statement to the boys to show that he's got strength.
Yeah.
Salah's going to see there's even more disrespect.
And like you say, he doesn't need to tell Curtis Jones that Curtis Jones isn't starting.
Just bench him.
Yeah, he's just on the bench, yeah. But star players deserve start treatment, if you agree with that.
No, that is
Right?
facts. Because that's how you get the best out of
should
them.
be called into the office,
Yeah.
sit down, cup of tea.
Yeah,
you want
exactly.
a biscuit,
Yeah,
or
this is what I'm thinking.
whatever
And
else.
for how long?
A
This is the plan.
massage,
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
like while we have this conversation, and look, I know how great you are. Like stroke the ego. That's all part of
That's
management.
all part of it, man.
That's all part of
and there has to be like
stuff.
clear. Salah's probably equally more frustrated at this point. We're putting
That's why
words in his
Carlo,
mouth. Yeah, yeah.
a bit off topic, but that's why Carlo is
Does what he
so
does.
respected.
Yeah, Salah must be having equal frustrations because he might not know what he needs to do to get back. Like, you have to sit it down and make it clear. Like, I'm leaving you out for West Ham because I really need a runner who's going to track back, or I need to get back to basics. And I just think there's so much pressure on you right now. And, I'm saving you up for all these other games. And, if you show me that you're in training, you're going to track back, whatever it is, bro, the tangibles have to be so clear for Salah to know how he's going to get back in the team. If you're just going to bench Salah and not really give him a direction in terms of
a pathway back,
what he needs to do to get, it looks like the wilderness for him now.
But I think
you get statements. You're going to start to get statements.
In the same way, I think if you tell Salah like what he needs to do to get back in the
it might
team,
be equally
it can annoy him even more.
But at least, I think the worst thing you can do is guys can come out and say, I've had no communication. Because then it looks like everything's a mess.
Yeah. Like Salah saying we have no relationship.
Yeah, because then it look Chris Paul, I haven't spoken to the coaching.
Well, look, ultimately, I just want to say that we've always said that we're for players showing some personality and coming out and talking, and if this had happened in the NBA, it wouldn't even be a story.
Yeah.
Just guys come out, Ja, LeBron, KD, Kyrie, Jaylen Brown,
a million times,
James
Karl
Harden,
Anthony Towns,
Cat, like whoever, they come out, they say, no, these guys, Jimmy Butler, right? I'm better than you, right? It wouldn't even be a story, and I actually quite like, obviously, because I'm not a Liverpool fan, I've already addressed that. If I was a Liverpool fan, but because I'm not a Liverpool fan, I enjoy this. Come out, show some personality. Like, NBA players will take on their coach and their GM all the time.
It's because the consequences are different for you as a big player. Like, we said it a million times, but like, it really is different for Salah. Salah's been left out of this game, but he might start Brighton. Calls might come from above. Edwards and the fact, we're paying this guy 400k. I'm not paying him 400k to sit on the bench.
Well, I mean, it's a bit of a different point. We don't have to go too much into it, but there is also the side of the argument that Edwards and that are
on board,
saying that their investments in terms of 125 million on Isak and 120 million on Wirtz
are not working.
They need to see that on the pitch.
Yeah.
They need to see that,
especially if you're benching this guy for them,
right? So, but look, that's enough on that. What developments will come, like you say, we'll see if he's walking around the pitch at full time at Anfield on Saturday.
What I do like about Salah, lastly, is he will play the games. Yeah, because he will, like, if he's on the bench or if he's not in the squad at Brighton, he'll be in the stadium. As you say, walking around the pitch, clapping guys.
He'll wear a t-shirt that says "You'll never walk alone."
All the games.
He loves that. Yeah. But look, tweet of the week. Because like I said, Chelsea, you're gonna get away with it this week, but we haven't forgotten.
We remember you.
Yeah, my tweet of the week, NBA Centel. He's done it again. Clippers front office statement on Chris Paul. Chris Paul was trying to win, and that did not align with our organizational expectations.
I think my tweet of the week might be the Jamie Carragher one, man, of how bad he needs this to win today. Another thing I didn't quite believe on Twitter was Jamie Carragher's match stats. Did he really only get 3 goals for Liverpool?
Yeah, he scored more own goals, isn't it?
In 768 games. I'm not expecting Jamie Carragher to have...
Yeah, but 3 is ridiculous.
3 is...
Saliba's not even a goal threat like
got
that.
3 this season.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's why Saliba's not even a goal threat, and Saliba will get 3.
There's bare... Monreal. There's bare... Well, he's a goal threat, but
Monreal,
there's bare guys in this league that aren't goal threats. That will get...
Gay, how many has Gay got now? Gay's never been a goal threat. MVPs and rookies. Look, we mentioned it a bit earlier. Farker. Like, well done. You've changed the formation.
Keep it up.
Right? You've realised after 7 years of getting absolutely demolished in Premier League football that if you put 3 centre-backs in there, if you put 2 big guys up top, you put 3 athletes in midfield, you might get somewhere.
Yeah,
You might do all right. And lo and behold, you've picked up 4 points from Chelsea and Liverpool.
That's good, man.
So shout out Daniel Farker.
I want to shout out Drewsbury Hall. I think Drewsbury Hall's in a bit of a heater right now. And my boss was trying to take things too far about Drewsbury Hall getting into the England squad and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think as much as I like Drewsbury Hall,
Well, he's a good player.
I think there's too many players, but he's doing what he needs to do.
Yeah,
he's doing what he needs to do. He's having a good season. It's looking like it's a good move for him. I've
got Oliver Glasner.
Yeah.
Palace are in the table. Obviously dealing with Conference League as well. Shout out Oliver Glasner. They're doing well. Good win on the weekend.
I've got Nuno, man.
Yeah.
Just doing enough. Just not quite being the absolute worst team.
Yeah. Leeds are so like they're so unlucky that West Ham got Nuno, because West Ham probably could have picked almost any other manager. Yeah, and that squad is still shit.
Yeah, it's not a good
that
squad.
Is still the same championship squad we called it before. Yeah, if they'd got any other manager, I think Leeds could have really had a chance.
Been pulling away. But looking at that,
it's a bit like Arsenal, and Pep and City in the title race.
Yeah. If it's
2 points in April, it's Pep and City. Bro, if it's 2 points in April and it's Nuno and West Ham down there,
the big ones are coming.
Bro, they're going to win that one at Anfield.
The Nuno Hole at the end of the game.
The Nuno stink fests. Man. Nice thing certified.
I've got to give a shout out to Piotr Jan. It's taken down Merab. It's a new era. It's the Jan era. The Russian guy takes down the Georgian guy. Big Bang takes Little Bang. We know how that goes. But for real, I think it's crazy, man. It's going to be a new era. I didn't think Merab... We were saying that Merab's not going to lose anytime soon. Who's going to beat Merab?
The
same stuff that you always say in the UFC. And then some guy on a Saturday night, middle of November, December, is like, I'll take down the king. I'll start my own era. I'll be my own guy now. A big credit to him, man. And I guess in the co-main event as well, the Van guy taking Pantoja, because I think Pantoja's an animal.
Pantoja is an animal. He is an animal. Rookies. Obviously, related to my tweet of the week, I've got the Clippers. We haven't had the chance to talk about that, but I think their treatment of Chris Paul has been a disgrace. But at the same time, I don't expect any different from one of the most unserious sports organizations
full stop,
I've ever seen.
Sorry, I have to give LeBron an MVP for that fourth quarter versus the 76ers yesterday, 2 days ago. God, he's 40.
Yeah.
Enough now.
Yeah.
He's just gonna take over fourth quarters.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you haven't actually given AR one yet.
Yeah.
AR's been on a heater.
He's a bit Luca, but let's just keep this up. Let's just keep this up. Rookies,
Chelsea.
Yeah.
Hold that.
Oh, Chelsea in a dark place, man.
And you'll know about this as well. We've spoken about it off air. England cricket team. England cricket institution. Everything, the way they set up the team, the way they coach the team. Bazball, rookie. And I want to give Australia an MVP, but England haven't really made it difficult.
Yeah.
Australia are a very good team. They're a very complete team. They have all the facilities.
But there's no competition.
Yeah, England. The first test was a disgrace. Yeah, being over in less than 2 days. Disgrace. The second test was over at the end of day 4, so a bit better, but even so, just pathetic batting performance. And now they're all questioning their mentality, and they're questioning Bazball, because this is what Bazball was leading up to.
I saw someone say Bazball's dead.
It is dead. It's finished now. Because Australia might go and win this 5-0, and then England have to go. But the whole Bazball thing has been leading up to, we're going to go to the Ashes, having played Bazball for years. 3-4 years they've been implementing Bazball.
What phase is Bazball in? Is that what
and now saying? So that's why all the equivalent of the pundits in cricket are saying this is the test for Bazball now. And see how England do, and England are failing tremendously.
My final rookies, and they do need, we've spoken about them a lot, but they do need a special mention again. Van Dijk and Konate, both of them, the pair. I'm actually convinced if they could put together a clean sheet, Liverpool will have another 6-7 points on the board. Like, as much as the issues have been woeful all over the pitch, I'm asking two Premier League winners, two prototypes here.
Yeah.
Just to keep it, just to sort it out. Have a dinner, sort it out, have a conversation. What am I doing wrong? What are you doing wrong? What do I need from you? What do you need from me? And get clean sheets on the board. If you start getting clean sheets on the board, you will win games. You'll turn this around. Like, for these guys to be, it looks like they hate each other. It looks like they can't stand each other.
I have some sympathy with them because there's only so much you can do when Gravenberch is in front of you. So I have some sympathy with them.
It's not enough, man. We put you guys on pedestals for a reason, and it's time to show it. Like, it's Leeds now we're talking about. It's not even the big dogs. It's been PSV. It's been Leeds.
Yeah, Sunderland.
It's been, like,
you haven't won a game.
Just shut out.
I agree. And yeah, look, I think that's it from us. I was thinking about whether I'll give a rookie to Salah or Slot, but ultimately they could probably both get one. So I'll just leave it.
Watch this space. Watch this space.
Yeah. We'll find out. But look, thank you guys for listening. Again, apologies for last week. We didn't have a pod, but we do have a double one coming probably next week or the week after. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. We'll see you next week. Peace.